Endurance Squad is training with a holistic edge. Plans for every kind of endurance athlete, plus yoga, mindset, and a team that's always in your corner. Join at yogitriathlete.com/squad.
How do we know when we have too much fire? And so here are kind of like the symptoms of that. Like I need to pull up a list. Like I should absolutely know what these symptoms are, which is overtraining, forcing outcomes, trying to control people, impatience, irritation. This is irritation when people don't move at your pace. That's fire out of control. And mistaking intensity for alignment. Right? So those people don't need more fire. That's fire out of control. Of course, it's just the wind is blowing and the flames are spreading. So what they need is containment. They need containment. So one technique to do that is to pull back 10%. So those people, just for one day, see how it feels, or just one moment, pull back 10%.
Reel that we posted today, mindset over the training, like it starts with that belief. If you believe that these things are possible for you and you truly believe that you can have these performances, it all starts there. If you don't believe, then what are we doing? What are you doing if you don't have that intentional purpose to get yourself where you want to go?
Welcome to the Yogi Triathlete podcast. I'm Jess. I'm here with BJ, and we're going to riff before I hop on a plane and head back to Cape Cod for a week. It's Tuesday and we're finished up for the day, and thought we would just set up the mics. And there's so many times that we're like, oh, let's talk about this in the podcast. Let's talk about this in the podcast. Let's talk about this in the podcast. Because we don't have a lot of surface conversations. We do have like regular marriage conversations, kind of like, whatever. But
can you feed the dog?
But like whatever to the marriage conversation. Yeah, is the dog fed? But anyway, so we'll see what comes out, because there's a lot that's top of mind. How you doing, Beej? What'd you do today for a workout? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. All right. We'll start right there. I did a trainer ride 3 times 15 minutes at the targeted watts I want to hit at Oceanside at a cadence of 75 to 80, which is something we're going to talk about.
This is something we wanted to talk about on the podcast.
So I did 3 times 15 minutes. And for me, that's 200 to 210 watts. For those that are curious, 90-minute ride on the trainer. That was all aero. And then headed out for the run that we love to do here, which Jess and myself are the kings of, local legends on Strava, because we're the only ones who do it.
I don't think we have any challengers.
It's called the up downs, and we go up and down from, what is that road?
Garfield.
I always forget that. Garfield to the coast, Garfield to the coast, Garfield to the coast, and then we loop back as you hit Tamarack. So it's a 20-minute run for me. And it always tends to, my focus is always to go out and just run it easy. However, in recent years...
This is a 20-minute 5K.
It's a 20-minute 5K. Yeah, I guess it is.
By the way.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was like 22 minutes, 23 minutes.
Okay. So you started easy.
And
somehow ended up
somehow it ends up always getting a little bit faster. Not on purpose. It's the flow of this run. And I think that's evidence. I know this is getting a little deep already, but this is evidence to why I love courses that are, constantly moving or fluctuating, or there's some hills to it versus just straight up flat. And this is something to really get curious about as an athlete. Like, what are the courses that you feel comfortable at, and where do you excel at? And that's only going to happen by going out and having experiences on different courses. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there was a 90-minute bike, 23-minute run. And of course, probably about an hour of mobility this morning with you on the floor watching, binging, cycling again. What was your workout?
Well, I was packing today and was watching 2 cycling events until like 9.
Confessional.
Yeah, like for a while this morning, and I did that yesterday too. But I hopped on the bike, and so the reasoning was usually Tuesdays I'll do a swim and a run. And I wanted to watch the cycling tour this morning. And so I stayed here and I didn't do the swim, and I knew I was going to be packing. I wanted to do a podcast, and I just like days before I leave to, not even that I like it. I mean, this is what I live. Like, I've had those times where you're just like, you're packing, and you're like packing too much, and you're tired, and then you're hungry and you haven't drank enough, and you're about to get on a plane and dehydrate. And I don't want that at all anymore. It's funny because it used to be not a lot of effort, but like, okay, look at the day and block the day out, and then add in a decompression day and blah, blah, blah. And I actually don't even like do that anymore. When I book a trip, I just look and I'm like, okay, I got to move that. So I just do that right away. Just, if I need to, if I'm flying during like one of my regular appointments, something like that. And we just had space today. So to answer your question, I decided to stay here because I wanted to be with Clark. Yeah. Clark's getting on in his years. And anyway, I wanted to stay here and be with him as I'm about to leave. And so I got on the bike and I did the neuromuscular ride, which is like fast cadence. And that was good because I haven't done it in a while. And it wasn't like I had to work at that to get it up. Sometimes like it's messy. It's a little messy today, especially the higher cadences. Yeah. So we've been working a lot with that. And that's it. And then just did a little bit of yoga this morning and yeah.
So the neuromuscular ride, for those listening, it's a repeated cycle of 10 minutes. It's 4 minutes at cadence 90, 3 minutes at cadence 100, 2 minutes at cadence 110, and then 1 minute at 115-ish, right? And so we can go anywhere from 3 to 5 cycles of that to get an hour ride.
So it's very mental to just stay at it.
Yeah, right. You need the mind to be engaged with the body. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, to really stay with it.
And also the fluctuation of this particular ride, because it's very specific with cadences. I have found over the years implementing this training ride that you're not always going to feel the 115. Like you get to that last final 1 minute and you're like, I'm not hitting 115. There must be something wrong. No, it's just the way that your body is absorbing the load from the week. It could be extra tightness in the body, and it just may not be fluid today. That's fine, because the next time you do the ride, most often the 115 has been able to be hit. So I feel on that ride, the block that is the most challenging is that 110. It's that 2 minute block from athletes.
Well, and also that you want to do it where you're not like
bouncing.
It doesn't look like you're on a trampoline, right?
No,
you don't want to be
stable, still core.
We were watching the close-up of the team time trial today at Paris-Nice, and it was the Ineos crew, and they were hammering right on each other's wheels, and just like it was a close-up, and you could just see like there's just like a little bit of like these little micro movements in their back.
Yeah.
Just like kind of this little like spinal slither thing, and that's it. Like they're just so quiet up top.
They're just, and big Josh Tarling in the front.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling Ineos through. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that was perfect timing for what, you were doing, getting on the bike.
Yeah. So the cadence, talk about how coming off of a 3-day race in December, which was all about strength and distance, like day after day after day. What needs to shift for me moving into Santa Cruz, wanting to get some speed?
Well, there's more than that, getting some speed. You want to.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. You want to break 3 hours on the bike.
Oh, yeah. I mean, getting a lot of speed. Yeah.
So you're talking specifically cycling or just overall?
Just like as the development of an athlete that wants to, I want to try and break 3 hours on the bike and then see if I can run 2 hours, and we'll see.
Yeah, cadence. So cadence work is such a big element to what you want to do, speed, and being able to hold the turnover later in the run for sure, because that's the first thing to go. When we're in the run, you get to like mile 8 or 9, the cadence starts to drop. You're starting to, I know this from experience.
It's like one foot is dragging.
Like, come on, come work with me. And so how you can push that out further is by working on your cadence when you're running. And it's not, I really want to be clear here. It's not like I need to hit 180 cadence, 185 cadence, and I need to do that right away. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm more talking about the feel of moving your legs over quickly.
Yes.
The feel of moving your legs over quickly, more quickly than they were moving before you started the stride. Let's call them strides, little 20, 30-second efforts. It's the feeling of moving your legs over.
I know.
Consistently.
You don't have to convince me.
Yeah. Whatever the cadence is your cadence. I'm really not a proponent of manually trying to shift your cadence. Stuff starts to happen. And Lawrence talks to this a lot. LinkedIn talks about it a lot. Don't try to fix cadence while you're running.
Yeah, don't try. Well, don't try and force a number.
No,
ever. Yeah.
So that's running. So for you who come off a 3-day event like you did, where there was some running, some hiking, some walking, constantly moving, you need to work on some.
No, I do. That's what I need as my coach.
So getting on the rail trail back here and doing 200 meters.
Look
quickly.
at us like massaging. I'm like massaging
doing my foot back
adductor right now. This is constant.
No different than what we do every day.
Yeah, this has just been this got a little tight in bike camp. So
I was just
love
leaving a voice message for an athlete saying she has a tight calf. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I had a tight calf. I've been massaging my calves and my feet and my hips every morning and every evening now for about 5 years with Arnica.
But let's be clear, it's not because you're like dying. You're nothing
but it
like
feels
that.
Good.
You stay on top of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I learned about self-massage like in massage school, right? It's like so important.
And you don't attack it. It's gentle.
Okay, so let's get back to the cadence on the bike. So that's how we're doing the run. I'm doing a lot of like 1 minute, super easy, maybe walking, and then a 1 minute at like a nice tempo, which feels really good. And I'm doing a lot of that right now. I have this big wide berth before Santa Cruz, and I really like that. Like, I really like just having a race that I'm just training for, because racing is so disruptive to training.
As we talked about before.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Okay, so then what's going on with this cadence stuff you're having me do on the bike, and where is my opportunity for I mean, I know where it is.
You know where your opportunity is.
What is it? 5 cadence
70 to 80.
70. I think it was more, this one was 75 to 80 or 75 to 85.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
No, it wasn't 85. I think it was 75. It was a small
70 to 80
range.
Or 75 to 80, anywhere in there. And that's dependent on where you're at.
And pushing the watts that we've estimated would, is really what I need to
80 to 85% of your FTP for a 70.3.
Right. So we just did that quick math. We don't have like hard data on that, but we did that quick math. Like, let's get there first, and then we can dial in. So you have me doing this cadence at like 75 to 80. And it's so funny because I can do it below, no problem.
Right.
I can do it above, no problem. But this like little window of this 5 beats was so hard for me to stay in. Yeah. So I love that, because now I get to chip away at that. And I love that about like every training block. There's always something that you can identify, and you can like be like, yeah, awesome. I'm going to chip away at that. Like, I love to achieve. I love to achieve, like most athletes. So when you can see all those little things as like potential achievements, that excites me.
Because you got a big goal in September.
I know.
So most of us cycle at 85 to 95 when we race, most often a higher cadence. And so cardiovascularly, we're very fit and efficient most of the time, right? That takes over, and we work that all the time. But what happens when we want to hit targeted numbers and keep a steady torque and pressure on the pedal so that we can hold power for a really long time, it demands that you have the muscle recruitment necessary for that. So the muscle fiber recruitment doesn't happen in what is comfortable for us, because we're already comfortable there. What we need to develop is slightly lower than the cadence that we probably will race at, so that we can hold the power that we want to hold longer. So cardiovascularly, we can mask a lot of things on the bike. Like, I'm really working hard, I'm breathing hard, but I'm not really doing anything.
I'm working so hard.
See? But it's like, is it actually producing the watts that you want? And no. And this is part of what my passion is, moving down this rabbit hole of the cadence work.
I love this.
Is to build the muscular recruitment. Like, again, back to the neuromuscular too, because the mind needs to get on board. Because at first it's uncomfortable. And this is why we don't do it, because we're steering away from things that are uncomfortable. The mind's like, I don't really like this that much. I can't hold it that long. Right, because you're not practicing holding it. When you can hold it, which is hold the power slightly less than what you're going to race at, you're able to recruit the muscle fibers necessary to hold power longer. So when I do these 10, 15, you're on 5 or 6 minutes right now, you're getting into that zone of like, okay, I'm using the muscles necessary to keep getting that traction on the pedal stroke. Really smooth torque, consistently able to push it over. And you're going to reach a point where it's like, oh, this is really uncomfortable. And that's why we're building from 6 to 8 to 10 to 12 to 15, get up to 20 or 25 minutes at a time. But it takes time to build that, because it's not in your wheelhouse yet.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. That's so cool. I love that. It's been a while since I've I don't even know when. I guess I haven't done a half Ironman since Oregon 2024. Yeah. So it'd be a couple years. Yeah. I guess so.
Oregon 2024. Why?
Yeah. Because 2025, I literally did El Cruce. And then I'm racing a lot less. What?
Insular.
You keep putting that in there. Solana Beach. I mean, I can do Solana Beach. All right.
So this is super fun. Don't you find
No, I love this. And so this to me seems like this is a very specific or a very key component to running to your potential.
Yes.
Of the bike. So I can do the 200s and the 400s and the whatever, but I'm going to get a super bang by being able to master this cadence, push more watts, and then
because you're going to be strong enough to hold the watts.
Right.
And then you're able to get off the bike and run to your potential because you're not super taxed by going over and above what you can handle on the bike.
Okay, cool. I'm in.
This is why it's kind of sounds so weird when people say, I want to get faster on the run, so I need to run more. That's a little bit of a component. We're talking triathletes here. The bigger picture is you need to really get fit on the bike, and you need to get efficient on the swim so that doesn't detract from your performance when you get to the run.
Right.
So if we can build this big bank of fitness on the bike and then run to the potential that you've been putting in training, it's all going to add up. So it's kind of counterproductive when they look at it or when they hear that from me. You mean I'm going to run more?
It's the opposite of what you think it is. But the recipe that works is actually the backwards recipe of what. And we actually just put a post out today about this. I'm going to get my physical stuff squared away, and then I'm going to train the
work
mind.
on the mind.
And it's totally backwards because your mindset determines how you train. Right? Your mindset is the one that says, I have no time to do this. I can't get it in. Your mindset's the one that says, oh my God, I should have done it earlier and I didn't. Your mindset's the one that says, oh, I haven't spent, enough time or done this, or I need to focus on this, or once I get these done, then I'll feel better. All of that is being driven by the mind. So that recipe I often see backwards as well. That's why we train the whole athlete at once. So it's not like a tiered approach, right? We just do the whole athlete at once all the time. But speaking of some of the physical stuff, I know you just put up some new training plans, and I put up some new plans in the training library as well. So I thought it'd be, first I just wanted to welcome in. We have some new athletes in squad, Kat and Jason and Amy. Anybody else new? But the community is growing, really fun to see. And we're getting, more interaction in there and our live streams and putting up new training plans every month. So I put up, it's actually 24 weeks. You're putting this up 24 weeks. But this is what I used. I used this, and it's 3 blocks of 8 weeks, foundational strength plan. And it's the plan that I used last year. I trained 20 for El Cruce, and 24 of those weeks incorporated this strength plan. And the first phase is really base work. And then the second phase is all right, now endurance training is starting to get up a little bit. So it works with you as your training begins to, shift and escalate. You've got to get more miles in. So you might have less time. So the time comes down on it. But those are up there. And then you just put up, an
5 speed plan.
Nice.
This is really good for athletes that have been working a half marathon or they have a big foundation and they're really solid, their training's clicking, but they want to dial in the last few weeks to get some speed specific to a 10K or even a 5K. It would work for a 5K, but really specific for a 10K. There's an approach behind that's really, I don't know what that was. That's it. I was just going to say, we don't have the light box up.
Oh, the one right there. We never plugged it in. I think the light looks okay.
Yeah, I think we look all right. What do you think?
We're 20 minutes into the podcast. We didn't put the light on. It's fine.
Okay.
Do you want me to put the little ring light thing on?
It just came on for a second there.
Yeah, because it probably recognized. This is good. This is good podcasting right here. Well, why don't you keep talking and I'll set up the light.
So, perfect.
Why not?
So, yes, 5 weeks. Really, really dialed in speed work. I think there's 2 speed sessions a week. And then the rest of the runs are, one's easy and then one's like a nasal breathing run, which you guys know I love, love, love the nasal breathing runs. Now, what is that? Side note, that's when effort is dictated by only breathing through your nose. When you have to use your mouth, you're going too hard or too fast. Yeah, we need to shut this one off. That's perfect. That looks really good.
Okay, let's start the podcast. This is a very authentic moment. Okay, keep going.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, really, really focused plan, 5 weeks. I mean, you can do what you want up to that. There's, some other plans that we have, and then you can drop this one in 5 focused weeks of speed work, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And you have a new Ironman plan up there too, don't you? Do you have a first-timers Ironman plan?
No, it was a 10 hours or 12 hours.
Oh yeah, per week.
So low time commitment, but quality sessions.
Yeah.
And I think that's 12 or 16 weeks.
Yeah. So the catalog is growing.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. So if you've been thinking about it, if you've been on the edge, just come join us. Like there's zero obligation to stay. We'd love to have you stay, but just come on in, check it out.
So come into the community. I think this is timely. Your coaches are us in the community. Like we're your coaches. It's a community environment. So you get in there, you ask your questions, anything that you want. You can connect with other members. You can download training plans. If there isn't a training plan or a specific plan for what you want to achieve, ask the question in the community. We can come up and develop one for you and for the rest of the community, because they're probably thinking about the same thing. Duathlon, Attillo, High Rocks, all these things people are starting to really incorporate in addition to triathlons with bike and run. Now is your opportunity. Like this is a great your chance to get in with us, ask your questions directly, and I really think it's affordable.
Yeah, I'm $99 a month, and we have a goal. We want 100 members in the squad by the end of 2026. This is our 10 years. It's ready. It's completed. It's ready. It's growing. We're adding to it. Like it's ready. And
it's here.
It's totally here. And it took 10 years to build it. And it's really cool. And yes, it's $99 now. And I can see that not staying forever. And I can also see that we offer some kind of like sick grandfather deal, like you're just always at that lower rate. Forever, which is fun. Like so get in and let's get training together.
So I know you've got a topic, but before we get there,
what?
Because we're talking about 10 years, Oceanside, less than 3 weeks, March 28th, celebrating 10 years in person. But because it's the year of celebration and Jess is doing Santa Cruz with a bunch of other athletes doing Santa Cruz, and we just found out we have a bunch of athletes doing Wisconsin and Wisconsin 70.3. And then I'll be doing Placid, and then we'll be at La Quinta later at the end of the year. It's a year of celebration, opportunity to come celebrate with us. If you miss Oceanside, hit us up because we'll be at other races and events and would love to meet and greet you, and we can celebrate, have many celebrations along the way.
Yeah, we love celebrations.
All right.
And Santa Cruz would be a good one. Well, I was just, as we enter the year of the fire horse, should I go here and talk about that?
Sure.
So we enter the year of the fire horse.
What is the fire horse?
The fire horse is from, I believe is it Japanese horoscope or Chinese horoscope? I think it's Chinese horoscope. Like how they have year of the hat, year of the rat. I'm year of the rat, like where I was when I was born. What are you? Year of the what?
Of the superhero.
Excuse me? What are you?
A superhero.
I don't think that's on the Chinese horoscope.
What about the bear?
You don't know is your
I
answer.
Don't know.
Okay. Yeah, Chinese zodiac. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure it's the Chinese zodiac. So it's not numerology. But anyway, it's in numerology, year of new beginnings. So, last year was all about letting go. Same thing in this tradition. Last year was the snake shedding. And now we're here. We're in the fire horse, which means there's a lot of people, a lot of drive available, a lot of passion available, a lot of transmutation available, a lot of transformation available. I think about burning, right? Purifying, like how much they have to put pressure underneath a diamond to get a diamond, So
and that's all happening this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the energy, right?
Yeah, okay.
It's just the energy. But the official thing that happened was from the year of the snake to the fire horse year was somewhere in mid-February. I'm not an expert, right? I don't have the exact dates and the times and this, and
but
I have no idea what it means when Mercury is in retrograde. People say that to me all the time. I have no idea what it means. I have no idea what it means if somebody says you have a rising moon and it's Pisces. But I have no idea what any of that means.
The stars are always moving.
All I know is that I feel a lot of fire inside of me, and it's lining up with some zodiac stuff that's also said to be going on. So for the endurance mindset live stream recently, I did a live stream on power under control, because that was a big thing that I needed to learn and on my own path. And we talk a lot about detachment and letting go of the attachment to the goal, and just showing up and being your best and really accepting the moment. And there's so much confusion around that, because it's if I detach from it, then I don't care. there's a whole endurance mindset live stream on that one as well, which is detachment versus it's not apathy and caring. Like you care very much when you're detached. It has nothing to do with not caring. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So anyway, you and I were having this conversation with our meditation teacher about detachment. And a lot of our athletes will ask us about, how do I detach from this? How do I, it's like, I'm feeling like really clinging to it. How do I detach? And what we identified was that you really have to learn how to get your power. If you're somebody who has a lot of fire, a lot of drive, a lot of passion, you really got to learn how to get your fire under control first. And also, if you feel very lethargic, you don't like to get out of bed, you feel like, oh, I need a nap. That is also power out of control. It's just power that's repressed. It's power that has layers over it. And we've all experienced both of these things.
Yeah. So how does somebody know if they have extreme fire?
Well, that's why I thought I would just do a quick touch on it.
Great.
So that's the thing, is that fire can be out of control by having too much fire, right? And so how do we know when we have, and I have some notes, I'm going to pull those up.
Yeah.
How do we know when we have too much fire? And so here are kind of like the symptoms of that. Like I need to pull up a list. Like I should absolutely know what these symptoms are, which is overtraining, forcing outcomes, trying to control people, impatience, irritation. This is a big one. Irritation when people don't move at your pace. That's fire out of control. And mistaking intensity for alignment. Right? So those people don't need more fire. That's fire out of control. Force, it's just the wind is blowing and the flames are spreading. So what they need is containment. They need containment. So one technique to do that is to pull back 10%. So those people, just for one day, see how it feels, or just one moment, pull back 10. So you were getting some feedback on the 10% from some of the athletes that they were not interested in the 10%. Totally get that. Then we have the other way that fire comes, and fire comes because it's actually been repressed. That is also fire out of control. It's basically power upside down. Okay. And so that happens when somebody maybe gets criticized or shamed, somewhere along the line, or overwhelmed, or they get rejected.
So do they internalize the fire? So are they like, no, they don't want to share?
It flips.
Yeah.
It flips and they start to go in, right? So how do you know if that is happening? And that is that's the forcing outcomes again. We know that one. I'm tired. I'm just not motivated. I'm not into it anymore. And you're like, whoa, wait, hold on a second. 2 days ago, we just talked about, going to UTMB. I just don't care. And a lot of times that can be perceived as laziness, but it's not. It's suppressed fire. So that fire has to come up because it's buried, right? It's like underneath some layers. So for those people, it's committing to 5 minutes in a day, like 5 minutes of doing something. Pick up your pen and journal for 5 minutes. Wash the dishes for 5 minutes. Clean the windowsills for 5 minutes. Walk the dog for 5 minutes. But just start with something and stay with it for 5 minutes and do not stop until the 5 minutes is done. So you start to drive up will, which drives up trust, because you need will to do something like that. And when you see that yourself showing up for something and completing something, you gain trust, right? That's very powerful. Now the power is starting to come back up. And so it's about power under control. And once you start to play with power under control, then you can direct it. So some people just have more fire than other people, right? And some need containment, and some need to lift it up and
stir
get the energy and poke it and put a little bit of lighter fluid on it, see a little bit of spark, get that spark back up, uncover it. Yeah, uncover it. Kind of like if you think of the visual I get is like if you're at a campsite and you're throwing like earth, right, on top of the fire to put it out. So it's like there's like mass on top of it, and so it gets really suppressed, and that can actually fall. Then you can kind of fall into a depression, right? Because it feels terrible to do that, just as much as it feels terrible to burn down the town. So that was an interesting one, and I just love these topics that I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but then it just comes, and I love that one, the power under control. And the 10% thing, that's, if we're looking at teaching an Ayurvedic, like let's say like we're going to teach 3 different sections in a yoga class for Kapha, Pitta, and Vata. The Pittas, we recommend that they do the class at 70%. It's like, it's the hardest thing in the world. I bet you would have trouble doing it. You would totally have trouble doing it.
I don't think so.
And then
maybe
for like the, more kapha dominant, it's like, don't take a knee in that pose.
Yeah, try to
lean
do that.
in,
Yeah.
lean in a little bit more to the sensation. Yeah, I like that topic, power under control. But we've had some good topics lately. 2 weeks I put into our library under athlete self-care, which is sleep, getting too much sleep, not getting enough sleep. What is sleep for? How to prepare for sleep, how to live in a way where we're allowed rest. And then an actual like middle of the night, because sometimes you can't sleep.
Yeah.
And so like a middle of the night, what do you do? And I did like a 5-minute practice with that.
A lot of times you probably talked about or mentioned this is we have disrupted sleep, even if we're good sleepers, because the mind is still trying to process things that were unprocessed during the day or not solved during the day. It's like still trying to work stuff out. And this is why clearing the day is such a great practice.
Share the practice.
Well, as you lay your head on the pillow and you're about to go to bed, you take a few moments, not super overly detailed, but you start to bring yourself through the day that you just had. So I woke up, I went to the bathroom, I had my lemon water, I meditated, I walked the dog, and you just go through the day at a top level, kind of processing everything that went through your day. And then you give it all back and you say, I released this all because that welcomes in what is going to happen the next day, because as you sleep, all the stuff, momentum is stopped, everything that's happening. And then when you wake up, you start to build momentum into the new day. But we need to let go and be grateful for what happened during the day, but tell the mind it's okay. We don't need to rehash this again and again. So when you take yourself through that clearing of the day, you've just gone through it all purposefully and intentionally. What's your
it's a very good what we don't process in our waking state, we process in our sleep state. And that's your whole life. I'm sure I have millions of things that I haven't processed, billions of things that I haven't processed. We're always taking in impressions. There's impressions on the mind. Like the mind just doesn't see through the eyes. The mind hears through the ears. It lives through the senses. So touching, like we're leaving impressions, or this is what concrete feels like. This is what hot sidewalk feels like. This is what the sound of the motorcycle sound, like everything is always leaving an impression. So it can make this kind of like match thing and say, okay, yes, this is happening. This makes sense. This is safe. Like your mind is always, it's like a lighthouse, right? Like always looking.
Yeah, it's a beacon, right?
Yeah. It's
that was
so
a good
cool.
topic. I'm glad you mentioned that. Go ahead. It's cool. What?
I love when I'm doing these, and you're basically, I don't know if you find this, but like I'm doing these and you're just like, you're talking about yourself and you're just like,
always.
Not like in a selfish ego way. That's not what I'm talking about, but you're just laughing at yourself because like it's important teaching, especially for athletes to understand, what does power under control look like? How could that affect my performance? Well, it's going to affect your performance heavily if it's, out of control or under control. And it doesn't mean you're powerful. It just means like if you have too much fire and it's blowing out everywhere, that's not strength. That's not power. That's like major fragility. And I've dedicated the last decade plus to really working with that and practicing this stuff that we teach. And it's really beautiful, like simple work for athletes is incredible because athletes, they have the strength to do it and see it through.
We're living it to teach it daily.
Yeah.
And one of the topics I talked about this week was rewriting your story.
Well, yeah, somebody left a comment about that it really like choosing your language like carefully is like it really hit them. Like I gotta tell the story I want to live.
I can only do courses that are flat, or I can only have my best race if I have this 6-week build, like all these demands that we place upon ourselves from evidence of the past that we bring and carry with us, which is extra weight into the present moment, into the now. And then that dictates, I always think, have a sack. Like, and it is that easy. Like you have the sack and you just like, it's like this, open up, just open up, let the past go, let the experiences go, learn from them, take what you need to learn from them, put them into action moving forward. The whole scenario, the whole storyline you can leave behind. And that opens up so much freedom for what you can take in coming forward. And I think for athletes, we can get really caught up in our, CV, right? Our resume from the past. And that's great. There's an element there that's always keeping us there though. Like that was the glory days, or that was the peak or the height. And this ties right into rewriting your story, because if you believe that your best days are behind you, or you believe you need all those things to happen to be well, then you're sort of limiting yourself. But if you can start to rewrite and dream and use your imagination again, like you did when you were young or younger or last year, use your imagination again and dream about the things that you can achieve and how you can achieve them, and go beyond what you think is, available to you, then you're tapping into a lot of the unknown, and you start to create this new storyline that you want to write for yourself. And then you're literally writing the storyline. Like, you're literally writing what's going to happen. And it starts with letting the old stories go and creating the new ones that you want to focus on. Yeah. Anyway, that was my topic this week. I liked it. But to your point, I've been rewriting my story, like, as I journal. I've been trying to use words wisely.
Don't we want to kind of refine it every day, right?
Hey, yeah.
Just by trying to be the best we can be.
But going back to what you talked about, the reel that we posted today, mindset over the training, like, it starts with that belief. Like, if you believe that these things are possible for you, and you truly believe that you can have these performances, it all starts there. If you don't believe, then what are we doing? What are you doing if you don't have that intentional purpose to get yourself where you want to go?
Yeah.
Right?
And belief can be built, for sure.
Absolutely.
Then,
yeah. It's a muscle.
It's always fun to uncover, like, that there can be beliefs, like when you're actively working towards something. It's so interesting when you can uncover, like, beliefs that are, like, keeping you from it. It's like keeping you from the very thing you say you want, right?
It's so true.
It's such an intriguing game of life. It's so intriguing to me. And when we can kind of shift it and say, like, this is a game that I can be, like, masterful at and
have fun with.
Yeah, and have fun with, and realize that it keeps coming back to this thing that I've talked about before, which is just the full integration. It's the full integration. You don't need to tidy up your past to be a part of this community. You don't have to get fit before you can train your mind. Life is not conditional like that. Life is just like this experience. It's just this series of moments that just keep rolling out that are actually the only let's just go way out there. It's like the only thing that's outside of time. Right now is the only place that's outside of time. So if you're feeling sped up, if life feels constricting, if the list feels like a tightening tornado, it's kind of like, oh, I'm trying to control others. I'm pissed that this person isn't moving at my pace. Like, that's fire out of control. Same kind of thing here. Coming back and deepening your relationship with the present moment will open everything up. Everything begins to loosen, because that sped up, tighter, forward kind of living, big sack of the past over your shoulder. It takes a toll on everything, your relationships and your health and your training. And so the moment, it's so talked about for a reason. Present moment awareness. It's like Liz, who used to be one of our coaches, is a presence coach. Like, people are actually like dedicating their lives to help people
be in
just
the now.
Live in the experience of now, where you can plan. And the plans are so much better, and you can decide on your race, because you're going from a knowing. You're going from a knowing that this is the race, that this is the goal, and there's not a lot of second guessing.
And understand, I really like this. Understand when you're towards something that's unknown, this goal that you have, whatever it is, the mind will fill in the details from the past to formulate what this potential experience will be like. And that happens automatically if we're not awake to it. If we're not willing to walk into the unknown cleanly, the mind will do that. It'll say, I can't go do that in the future because this happened in the past. And it will pull upon the past experience to fill in the gap of what will potentially happen in the future.
It's like this inner architect.
Yeah, it's orchestrating for your safety.
Yeah, it's all for your safety.
It's all for your safety.
It's all for your safety.
Because it doesn't like the unknown, which, right, it's uncomfortable.
Safety.
It's uncomfortable. So I was talking about making the discomfort the norm, to a level when you're an athlete, making the discomfort a norm, meaning I see the mind refusing to sit here at 75 to 80 cadence, and I want to diffuse that. So when I understand that is my work and I'm just going to allow it, I'm not going to try and fight it, then you start to form a new relationship with it.
Yeah, it's cool to see how you can create those neural pathways. And that's what it's going to be to get that cadence nailed down.
Or anything that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And when you talk about discomfort, like understand we're not talking about like every day train really hard.
No.
We're saying like when you don't want to get out of bed, get out of bed. That's what we're saying. We're big proponents of getting out of bed.
So much gets accomplished. So much gets accomplished in the morning. Like if you're up at 4.
I love the morning. I love the morning. I've been getting up like ridiculously early with the time change and everything because I just love the morning.
I think the biggest thing is not rushing. Rush.
Rushing is, you want to talk about power under control? Not rushing is a very good thing for me. It's a very good thing for my constitution.
And for me,
rushing is not good.
You not rush.
I turn into it's like a bulldozing Ferrari. It's not. I will knock things over.
Take people out.
No, that was
no.
Oh, not now,
sometimes.
but it has been in the past.
But getting up in the morning allows for space. It's so peaceful. It's so quiet. I love hearing the first birds. It's usually during meditation. Hear the first birds. Or I'll be taking Clark out for an early walk. And all of a sudden they start singing. And you're there for that. It's so cool. It's really cool.
Yeah,
so anyway.
I love the morning.
We love the mornings.
I love that you love the morning. Like you've always loved the morning, but now like you like the early morning. Like the pre-dawn stuff.
I do.
Like pre-dawn. In yoga, it's like the Brahman hour. It's the quietest time. It's so quiet. And it's like, I like getting up like a good hour and a half before like first light. It's like in the darkness of the morning.
2 hours before the first workout.
Or like 3 hours. Like 3 hours before first light.
Yeah, it's cool. There are some things that help, the espresso is on or
we
cycling, the latest cycling infatuation.
Yeah. And we do like, that's where we do our self-care.
I do it right here in front of the fire.
Yeah, we do our self-care. Yeah. So, all right. Okay. So I think there was some good stuff in there. I hope. Come join us in Endurance Squad. And you actually have, do you have a spot open? Did you just have a spot open? So BJ has a spot open. You had 2 spots, but now you have a spot. So if you're looking for one-on-one, like just some real quality, high touch coaching. If you want BJ up in your grill every day in Training Peaks, let us know. He's pretty amazing, as I'm sure you know if you watch this and listen to this.
And if you've got that hit to like immerse yourself in the mindset before the physical training, like Jess works one-on-one with athletes as well. So you don't need to coach with me to work with Jess. If you simply just want to explore more of what we just talked about as it relates to you and your situation, it could be any sort of sport related thing, or not sport, but preferably something that you enjoy doing. And you find like there's something to this, like you feel the compelling connection to what Jess describes when you hear her voice, or you're listening to the Awake Athlete podcast that she has, and you're like, I want some of that, or I at least want to explore that. Like have a session, start to paint that road. And you don't need to train with me or that's not a prerequisite at all.
I have athletes that I work with that love their coaches.
Yeah.
They just want to deep dive on the mindset. They want that game changer, and they don't want to change their physical programming. And that's great. I love that. And I love that. I love when I get to do that. And then it's really nice, like when the coaches, most of the coaches are really open to that, which is so nice too, which is great. Cause then you become like a team. So yeah, there's that. And then of course there's adventures. We got Costa Rica coming up here. I'm pretty pumped. I know. It's like here. It's like so here. It's going to be like oceanside side.
No, 5
weeks. We got our 8-hour meditation.
No, 6 weeks.
Yep. And then we're on a plane to Costa Rica. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. So oceanside, Costa Rica. What's next after that? Iceland.
Yep.
That's
it.
All right.
That gets me through July.
Plenty of opportunity to come join us. We would love to see you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you guys have questions or topics you want us to address, please drop us a line. And if you're going to be at any of the races this season, we're always putting stuff out on Instagram. Follow along at Yogi Triathlete. Ping us and we can meet up. We're having a big meetup at Oceanside. A lot of people aren't racing. They're just coming to hang out.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
If you're enjoying the Yogi Triathlete podcast, you'll love our other show, Awake Athlete. 5 complete seasons, short, potent, no surface chatter episodes to train the mind like you train the body. Season 6 is live now. Search for Awake Athlete wherever you get your podcasts and start listening today.